Alright, starting over here on the left, you got Ultramax 165 grain soft point boat tail 308 ammo, 20 rounds. And the muzzle velocity on this stuff ran 2,680 feet per second. And when I tested this ammo at the range, I was getting 1.80, or got rather, 1.80 to 2.10 MOA. Pretty good, in my opinion. Alright, next was Hornaday Black, 168 grain AMAX ammo 308. Muzzle velocity was 2,700 feet per second. And with this stuff, I got 1.25 to 2.25 MOA. I take that with factory ammo all day, especially in that grain weight, because my M1A likes 168 grain bullets. Although I have found recently with reloadings that it will group a 150 grain bullet much tighter than a 168 grain bullet. So, but it still likes 168s. It just groups 150s in the reloads a lot tighter. Alright, next is SSA Nosler 168 grain hollow point boat tail with a muzzle velocity of 2,750 feet per second. And I got solid 2 MOA with this stuff. Now for the price it cost and the grain weight, I figured it would group a lot better than that, but 2 MOA. I actually tested this ammo twice. I tested it once before I put my spring guide, my National Match Sadlac spring guide, in my M1A. And then I tested it again after I put the National Match Sadlac spring guide in my M1A, and the result was the same both times, regardless of the National Match Sadlac spring guide upgrade. I'm getting tongue twisted. So 2 MOA solid 2 MOA with this stuff, which really isn't that bad. You know, 2-inch group is solid 2-inch groups all the way. In fact, when I tested it before I changed the spring guide out, it got a 1.75 in one of the groups. Alright, next is SSA Nosler 175 grain hollow point boat tail. This stuff right here, 175 grain hollow point boat tail. Now this stuff is, you know, it's the same bullet construction, the hollow point boat tail, but it's a 175 grain bullet. And it has a muzzle velocity of 2,500 feet per second. And with it, I got 0.65 to 2.50 MOA when I tested this stuff. So I did get some decent groups with it, but it did open up a wee bit, and I think I was the fault for it opening up a little bit. I'm not sure, because it had one group that acted really wonky when I tested that stuff, but after I you know, got behind the gun better, it grouped a lot tighter. And I got 1.65 MOA, and then like if I remember correctly, a 1.25 in there too. So my M1A liked this stuff too, albeit it being kind of all over the place. But I considered that stuff pretty decent for what it was. And then finally next, I got Remington Core Locked 180 grain soft points, and I dug around in my box and actually found the 180 grain soft point box that I tested. It had a muzzle velocity of 2,620 feet per second, and I got 2.50 to 3.75 MOA. And the reason for that is, the reason for the 3.75 MOA groups with this stuff is it is a 180 grain bullet. And I have read on Springfield's website, and I've heard many people on the M14 forums say never shoot a heavy diet of 180 grain bullets in your M1A because it beats the action up. And the only reason I ended up with this box of 180 grain ammo is because I bought this in a mistake. I actually did a video covering how I accidentally bought this box of ammo because it was behind the counter and I could not see the number here because it's small fine print, and I thought it was 150 grain 308 instead of 180, and I didn't realize that I had bought 180 grain 308 bullets until I was about halfway home, and I was like, oh, well, too late now. So don't shoot 180 grains in your M1A, and if you do shoot 180 grain bullets in your M1A, just shoot a few of them. Don't shoot like, you know, like 40 rounds in a day or however many, because it will beat an M1A to death, because it's that 175 grain bullets is at the end of the M1A's gas system. You know, that's at the end of its spectrum there, because you can shoot from, I've seen guys shoot 79 grain 308 rounds out of their M1As and it functioned just fine. And that's about like, it goes for, like, you can go from like really light grain to 175, but that's it, because that's all the gas system on the M1A can handle. So that's just a heads up. Alright, and I got an honorable mention. It's the Ultramax 100, see, Ultramax 168 grain hollow point boat tail 308 Ultramax ammunition. This is the first box of ammo I bought for my M1A. I actually bought this in preparation for buying the M1A. This is the first batch of ammo, along with Remington Core-Locked and Winchester Super X, because I had shot a box of that before I started testing it through my M1A. This is the first big bulk pack I had for my M1A before I bought it. It was 60 rounds, you know, 60 round bulk pack. My M1A, you know, even open sight really loved the Ultramax 168 grain boat tail hollow point ammo 308, because I remember when we was over at the range, I was shooting open sight at 100 yards, and I was looking down there and I was getting groups. You know, when I'd walk down there and look, I was getting groups about this tight, even open sight. And had I had the idea at that point, at that time, because see, when I first bought my M1A, I knew I was going to shoot it, but I didn't know the whole idea of doing ammo tests with factory ammo hadn't occurred to me yet. And had I known what I know now, I would have saved a few rounds over and done an ammo test with this stuff, you know, being serious at 100 open sight, and then I could have done a retest with it scoped. But oh well, you know, hindsight's 20/20. And you know, and I just didn't, it just hadn't occurred to me yet, you know, to buy factory ammo and try it through my M1A and see what factory ammo would do in my M1A, and then show the results to other people via YouTube. And it's helped me out in the long run, you know, my ammo tests, because I was able to go back, about 4 years worth of data on YouTube, go back through and write down the ammo that I have tested, and, you know, look up the muzzle velocities for them, and then, you know, do an average about what the MOAs were. So, you know, doing the ammo tests has really helped me, and it's helped a lot of people too, because I've had a lot of people comment and say, hey, yeah, you helped me figure out, like, you know, the type of ammo that my M1A would like to shoot, or you gave me the idea to buy this stuff, and then, you know, they'll go shoot it and then come back and tell me, it's like, yeah, that stuff shot just like it did in yours and mine, you know. So you know, referencing, you know, ammo for people who have M1As. And it's, I'm glad to know that on several videos that I've done these ammo tests, that it has helped people, you know, figure out what ammo their M1A would like, because it kind of takes the guesswork out, because, you know, they see me shoot a, you know, American Hornaday, or Hornaday Black 308 168 grain AMAX ammo, and you know, it worked good in mine, and they go buy a box and try it in theirs, and it worked. And then they've got around their M14 will shoot accurately. So, and I've had people tell me that that's been the case a few times on some videos. Well, anyway, guys, I think I'll wrap it up here for part 1. I think I'll make the barrel part where I talk about the different types of barrels that M1As have. And the rifle twists. See, I got some notes here. I kind of just got it summarized here for the, like, you know, the different barrel lengths and the contours and the rifling twists. Kind of got it summarized there. I researched it a little bit more, but this has been part 1, ammo selection. And hope you all enjoyed, and if you're all curious, you can go onto my playlist of ammo tests and go down and just watch any type of the ammo tests with any of these and decide for yourself whether you want to try your hand at any type of the boxes of ammo that I said that my M1A would like. You know, your mileage may vary, but we won't know what our rifle's like unless we get out and shoot them. That's the first thing I did when I bought mine. That's why I had this big old box of 168 grain Ultramax ammo. I had to figure out what it liked before I started reloading. So I took it to the range and just started shooting. And I got the idea one day while doing that to start making ammo tests. So, you know, this has been byproduct of my ammo tests here. Well, anyway, guys, subscribe, rate, and comment. See you guys all in the next video. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Give it a dislike if you didn't. Write down in the comments below. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell. Stay tuned for more. I've got more coming. See you all in the next one.